Well, traffic is moving slowly, or rather smoothly, on the Lloyd Expressway after the early morning snow led to a dicey morning commute for many tri-staters. But as we take a look right now, you can see it's going smoothly, pretty well there on the Lloyd Expressway in Evansville. But long before that first driver hit the road this morning, tri-state road crews were working to keep highways safe. But what do they do, and why does it change in different types of winter weather? A little earlier today, we caught up with Indiana Department of Transportation spokesperson Jason Tiller to give us some insight on dealing with snow, ice, and rain. Jason Tiller with INDOT, thanks so much for being here with us today. First up, we trust INDOT crews to take care of our roads, pre-treating, clearing them of snow, but I understand pre-treating isn't always possible. Explain to us what factors go into the decision as INDOT cares for our roads.
Well, you're absolutely right. Pre-treating is sometimes a big challenge, especially when we face a weather system with some moisture attached to it. And what I mean when I say that is that we're basically looking at whether or not the conditions were dry before the snow started. And so with the upcoming weather system, it's predicted that a little bit of rain is going to come in before the snow. So we're going to be looking at some wet roads before the snowstorm comes in. And so in that situation, it is difficult to pre-treat. It's not necessarily impossible, but it is a lot more difficult. We're very fortunate from this storm that we just recently had. We're going to have a lot of residual salt on the road. So some of that will get washed away in the rain, depending on how much we get. But we are hopeful that some of that residual salt will remain in place. Another great thing that we have at our disposal, a great tool that we have, is beet heat. And it's not necessarily beet juice. That's a common misconception. It's actually an environmentally friendly blend of chemicals, but it is kind of derived from beet juice, and the idea is kind of the same. They did used to use beet juice back in the day. That's a little bit of a side note there. But we do have this product called beet heat, and we can use that, and it actually, in a wet condition, will actually help the salt and the brine stay on the roads. We use that in about a 20% mixture with the brine. So it's actually a little bit of a help when we have wet conditions, but again, that's not for like a torrential downpour or a heavy rain that's going to wash everything away anyway. So, honestly, what we do in that situation is we try to monitor as much as possible. We try to get our crews out early. We try to make sure that we're monitoring the system, what's coming, and try to be as prepared as possible. And we do use as much pre-treatment as we can as the situation calls for it. If we have an opportunity to use it, we are prepared. All of our trucks will have the equipment necessary to pre-treat if the opportunity presents itself. So yes, it is a challenge, and no, it's not always feasible to get out there with salt brine or rock salt and pre-treat. But on the same token, we do look for those opportunities. And while it is a challenge, it's not always completely a lost cause either. So
you're talking about it's not a lost cause. Then if you can't pre-treat, what do you do to the roads to clear them?
Well, in the event that we can't pre-treat, we're going to have people out early monitoring, making sure that the roads are, not icing up, and doing what they can as far as regular treatment goes. So, salt. If there is an opportunity to use brine, they can use brine. We'll have people out clearing the roads, plowing, trying to manage the beginning of that storm so that we're not seeing the buildup of winter weather on the roadways, especially in a situation where the roads can't be pre-treated. However, I will say that air temperature and pavement temperature are a big determining factor in that as well. There's a lot of science that goes into it. Say the air temperature is 29 degrees, but we had sunshine all the previous day, and the road temperature, the pavement temperature is 36 degrees throughout the day. We may not have to do quite as much because once the snow starts falling, that snow it's not going to stick to the roads. It's going to melt on contact. Now, as temperatures drop, we will have to take a little bit more of a cautionary approach. But on the same token, we have to look at the science. We have to look at what happens the day before, or a few days before in that case, and what the weather's going to do. Okay. What are we expecting? Are we expecting, a dusting? If we get a small amount of snow on a very warm pavement, we may not have an issue at all until later on. And then we can use the beet heat to pre-treat or mix with the chemically wet roads with all the residual salt that's already out there. And so, you're not going to see a huge buildup. You might see a couple of slick spots here and there, but you're not going to see a covered road.
Gotcha.
Now, in the
Okay.
exact opposite situation, where we have pavement temperatures that are below freezing, we're going to want to be out there as early as possible and try to maintain that that clear road as much as possible, try to keep it and manage the storm and make sure that we keep it as clear as possible while snow is falling, and then really hit it hard once the precipitation stops.
Okay, that's good information, something for us all to keep in mind as we just take it easy, drive carefully and slowly. Thank you so much, Jason Taylor with NDOT. Appreciate that information.
Very welcome. Thank you.